Hey, what's up?
What's up, Matt?
Nothing, bro. What are you doing?
I'm just at home, was waiting for this, waiting all morning for this.
Wow, that made my day, man. Thank you.
How are you, dude? How you been?
I'm good. I'm really good. Obviously, I wish I could be playing right now,
Yeah.
games and stuff, but no, I'm feeling great. Body's feeling great. Everything's good. So can't
How's
complain.
your groin doing?
Feels awesome. Feels like
Good.
honestly this surgery is so great because like it's not like I'll never have like or I shouldn't have like long-term effects. Like I'll never be like, oh, I have a bad groin now. Like it feels how it did before the surgery.
Okay, well that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
How's your
All
knee
right,
feel?
I'm good, man. My ACL's doing just as much as I wanted to do right now. Like it's doing better than I expected, to be honest. Like
That's good.
for 7 months, it's doing a lot better.
It's only been 7 months.
Yeah, 7 months.
That's
Mhm.
really good. Then if you're moving and going, like I've seen what you're doing through the cones and dribbling and all that stuff,
Yeah,
that's good for 7 months. I
yeah.
saw we had a player last year towards ACL. It took him like 8 or 9 months before he was even touching a ball.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm expecting to like 9 months for me to like get back and like fully on like, contact and everything.
Yeah.
But
There's no need to rush it right now.
no, I mean it's yeah, exactly. Especially with this quarantine.
Yeah.
How's Mimi doing? I know she's staying with you.
She's good. She's right here. She's just behind the computer. She's working. She's doing her interior design homework right now.
Okay, cool. Hey Mimi, I don't hear me, but hey. Um, well that's good, dude. I mean, damn, like so what's been like your daily schedule now that like I mean, we're stuck indoors.
Yeah. It's been weird. It took me a while. Like the first couple of days, like I was like in a weird funk. Like I just
Yeah.
kind of like I didn't do anything. I was like it almost didn't feel like real that practice was ending and like it was just so it came so abrupt for everybody and for me
Yeah.
too. So like I just like took like 2 days just to kind of like chill. I kind of just hung out. I really didn't do any workouts or anything and gyms were closing. I was just kind of like just watching the whole scenario. And then I kind of like slowly got it back into a routine. So like I don't have like a full like daily routine, but I try to do like get on the ball 4 or 5 times a week for at least like an hour. And then I try to do 4 or 5 bodyweight workouts per week. We have to run the beep test twice a week and I'll go on like a run by myself. And then other than that, just kind of like just try to eat as best I can to like maintain body weight. And then it's just kind of like hanging out and trying to wait it out.
Yeah. And so like on you hop on like Zoom meetings with your team and stuff like
Yeah,
how often?
we do Zoom meetings almost every day. I'd say for every weekday. Like we have 2 workouts with the team through Zoom. So our coaches are
Oh, okay.
there. Our coaches are there. We have our trainer there, our sports and conditioning coach, and they just lead us through a full body weight workout and everything. And that's twice a week. And then we have 2 times a week where it's just like for an hour and a half to like 2 hours of like game analysis type stuff.
Oh,
So
no.
it's pretty cool. Like it's not bad. Like it could be worse. I mean, thank God it's happening now versus like before it'd be like Zoom or computers or Skype or anything.
Yeah.
Now it's
Yeah, exactly.
what about you? Do you have any like Zoom meetings with your team or
Yeah, we're doing Zoom meetings every morning actually. So at 10 a.m. we hop on and it's just like a 30-minute Zoom call where we just like, seeing how everyone's doing and then going over like what the coaching staff has like for us to do either that week or that day.
yeah.
And so yeah, so it's just like yeah, so from Monday to Friday, hopping on at 10 in the morning, just
Uh,
for a 30-minute convo, and then we're also doing like one-on-one just with one of the coaches just to do like check on our how we're doing in school and stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it.
how was your first year at Irvine? I mean, I know your knee obviously put a
Yeah.
damper on it, but how was it?
Um, I mean, in terms of soccer, like I learned a lot, and like I learned um I think I developed my IQ, my soccer IQ so much just from like watching, sitting out for so long and like, like really being able to listen to what the coaches expect and want, and the reasoning behind everything. So I for sure learned a lot from just sitting out, and that's how I kind of went into it is that like I'm gonna try to like just gather as much information as possible. So just going in as a sponge,
Yeah,
and
that's good because
yeah.
you have low IQ, so it's good that you are bringing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but but yeah, so like I feel like I learned a lot. And the team is cool, you know, and like I'm cool with everyone on the team, and they're they're really good guys, and it was fun. Like the soccer environment was fun. In terms of school, like my first quarter, I didn't I passed all my classes, but I didn't probably perform as much as like the coaches wanted me to perform. But it was I just did it. I just like underestimated it a lot. You know, I didn't think it was going to be as challenging. Just, I mean, I should have. I took chemistry and math and, you know, and sociology or something, but like I kind of like threw myself like in the deep end a little bit. But no, and then the second quarter was fine, and now I'm in third quarter, and it's like I'm like it's a little weird because it's all online, but it's all good now. Like like my first year was for sure like it was just like kind of like all over the place a little bit in terms of school, but
Yeah.
soccer was just like was pretty solid.
Yeah. Do you live on campus?
No, I live in an apartment off campus.
Okay. With some
Yeah.
soccer guy?
Yeah. So I have three roommates. They're all soccer guys.
Okay, that's sick. You like
Yeah,
that?
it's fun. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, it's not very necessary for me to get an apartment because I live down the street, or my parents live down the street. But it was just for experience, you know.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Like that's the big thing about college is like learning how to live on your own, still eat
Mhm.
healthy, not have ice cream for breakfast, stuff like that,
Yeah,
And then like
exactly.
learn how to do you do your own laundry and everything? Do you cook for
I
yourself?
have. Yeah, well, yeah, I have to. Yeah,
Good, good. So you're growing up. You're really growing up right before my eyes.
yeah, man. I turned 19 and things changed.
Yeah. Hey, and then
Nah.
I've been seeing your TikToks too. Your TikToks have been doing well.
Yeah, I need to post one. I haven't posted one in a while, to be honest. But yeah, you too. Yeah, I know, I know. I'm gonna steal some of your ideas.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
Nah,
Actually, what's funny is I wanted to steal your idea about how you overviewed your career. That one did well. I
yeah,
like
I
that.
did well. You should do it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
sure.
just
Just
like,
make sure you tag
yeah, we'll
me. Yeah. The did you like that I put you up there with Iniesta and David Villa?
yeah, I was a little surprised.
My brother started laughing. He's like people are just gonna be like what? Like, but
Who's this guy? You got David
no,
Villa.
I'm like everyone's gotta know who Matt Sheldon is. Come on.
Yeah.
Um, so in terms of like quarantine and stuff, like um, I know we had a conversation a little bit like before, but through text a little bit, and like it's just like motivation is really hard to like. It's just very difficult when you're indoors and stuff, and like I've been dealing with it too.
Mhm.
What are you finding to like that's keeping you motivated to like keep?
Yeah. I keep telling myself like I always try to be super realistic with it, like I think it's like you're gonna kind of like let yourself down if you think you're gonna have the same motivation as you would if you had full team trainings and team workouts and all that stuff because like you're just not gonna have the same amount of motivation. It's just like a fact. So I kind of like take that into account like okay, look, you're in a tough situation, everybody's in a tough situation, um, but just to try to do the best that you can right now. And I always start to tell myself like that quote like do what you can where you are with what you have, and I keep on pounding that in my head like just do what you can, do what you can. Don't be like, oh, I don't have a field, I don't have goals, I don't have a gym, so I can't really get a workout in. So I just try to like I recognize that like I'm not going to have the same super high levels of motivation if the coaches are there, all my teammates are there, and I kind of like understand that. But at the same time, I'm telling myself every day just to do as much as you can. And if I do have those terrible days, like I have a terrible day and I wake up and I'm super lazy and I'm mentally not ready to train, or I don't want to work out, like I allow myself to just have a mental rest day. Like it's okay, take a day off, recoup, and then it just kind of puts more motivation. It's like, okay, you take this rest day, but that means you have to do like a really good workout and a really good training session the next day. And so I always am like trying to balance that. And I'm trying to like listen to my mind a lot, like where I'm at mentally, if it's going to be a good day, bad day. But if I have like 6 bad days in a row,
Yeah,
that can't happen. So
yeah,
I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, but it's just hard. It's a very
yeah,
weird time. But like I said, I try to do like what I said, where it was like get on the ball 4 times a week, try to do 4 or 5 bodyweight workouts a week, go on, do the B test twice a week, do some fitness. So as long as I'm hitting that, then I'm happy. How about you? How's the motivation been?
I mean, it's like yeah, it's similar. Like I'm trying to keep myself accountable for everything. So it um well the way I have it scheduled is like I'm training at least I want to train at least 5 times a week, but I've been training 6 times a week
Mhm.
for the past like 3 weeks, I've been training 6 times a week. And I'm trying to stick with that. And they're usually after my Zoom calls with the team. And so yeah, so like I kind of like I work really well with routine. So I work well with like a very like so I've kept it as a routine, my Zoom call, and then after I go train. So that's kind of how like I've kind of set it for myself and make it kind of made it like a strict kind of schedule. But there's some days like this week I kind of like I was feeling a little tired, like not tired, sore, like from my hamstring and my Achilles, and so I was feeling a little sore. So I was just like, okay, like I'll let that I'll leave that as an excuse for me not to go train today. And so like I'm kind of like I can find myself finding excuses to try to not, but then I catch myself and try to be like, okay, maybe like the soreness in my Achilles was probably a good idea just to like rest a little bit, but I do catch myself like, well, what's the reason why I can't train today? And I'm just like, no, no, no. Like I gotta talk to myself a lot to like keep that motivation to keep going. Because yeah, it is tough. It's so easy to just lay in bed, especially because my classes are online, so I can do them in bed while sitting up. But just as soon as I get up, like off the bed, I find myself not wanting to go back on the bed. So just yeah, that motivation is just getting off the bed. That's
Yeah.
like the hardest part. But
Yeah, it's tough too, like because once you have one like rest day and you don't do anything, you don't work out, you're like, wow, that was really comfortable, that was
yeah,
nice, and then you
exactly.
want
Yeah.
another one and another one. So I do that a lot of like, okay, just do one thing, even if it's just like super simple, like I'm gonna go on a 2-3 mile walk, like just one thing where I'm like
Yeah.
doing something, some form of activity, so I don't get used to like hanging on the couch all day long doing nothing, because you get like addicted to that like comfort of just having a
Have
machine.
you have you have you found yourself like doing this where it's like because I want to start like making more TikToks and stuff like that, and then making even content for Athletic Ascent and doing like live video sessions. I've kind of found that as my motivation to go out more or go and do stuff. So like I've been on Athletic Ascent. I've been doing like the live workouts for a Monday and Wednesday, and
Mhm.
that kind of forces me like, okay, I need to do the live workout because people are gonna watch it. That's content for this. And then the same thing, I need to go out and train and film some of it so I can put it on, make more content. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like I've been using. I assume you do the same thing because I mean you have a YouTube channel. So is
Yeah,
that how
no,
you found
like,
yourself?
yeah, like it's funny because people will be like, "Oh, maybe if you stop focusing on become elite, like you'll be a better player." Like you'll focus more on the soccer. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. Like that, having the need to put out content and a video and have to show my training session and to do all like Instagram drills and stuff like is double the motivation, because not only do I want to work out because I'm being paid by FC Tulsa to be fit, to be sharp, to train all the normal times, but on the days where I'm like where I'm 50-50 like about training, and then I have the thing of like, well, I haven't posted a video in 3 days, so not only do I need to train because I'm a professional soccer player and this is my job, but and I want to do it, but I also need to train because I want to put out, like I want to have become elite, do well.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, so it's always kind of cracks me up. People are like, you should focus just on soccer, and like, well, become elite just double helps me even stay more focused.
exactly. Yeah. I was gonna ask like how because I've been watching some of your videos. I know you're going out and you're training like in the parking lots and like in the grass field. How like how are the restrictions in Tulsa? Are they like really strict? Like you can't be on fields and stuff, or
Yeah, most fields are like you can't be on them, but I found this one field now that you can go on, and it's pretty hidden in the trees and everything. So I've been getting some training sessions there, but I haven't been filming them. I've just been kind of doing them. But then yeah, but honestly, like they're really cool with, like, I've had cops drive by when I'm training in parking lots and I'm on the field in the back, so it's really not that bad as long as you're not like with a big like group of people or doing something like that. But no, I really kind of like almost enjoy where it's like you have to be creative with the training session. It like helps me, like, because it's like, okay,
yeah,
I got this log. All I got is this log that pops up the ball.
yeah,
Now I
yeah,
have to
yeah.
make a training session in order to incorporate that. Or like now I got like this much space, but I don't have anything to kick in, or I only have a fence that's 3 feet high. So it like it helps me almost like the more restrictions of that helps
Mhm.
me get more creative with my sessions, versus if you have a full field, you're like, well, I guess I'll do shooting and crossing and dribbling, like the normal stuff. So I kind of like it in a weird way.
Yeah, yeah. At least here, it's same thing. You're trying to find like I'm using my girlfriend's backyard and using her wall and doing some wall passes against it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because here they close down all parks and stuff, so you're getting kicked out as soon as you like basically as soon as you step on it. So there's like and like even parking lots, you can't even be seen on them because then they'll kick you out. So it's just it's here in California. There's a lot more. I assume it's a lot more strict than over there in Tulsa, but yeah. So I assume you create your own sessions and stuff and your own workouts. Like you do that. You plan that all out yourself.
Yeah, yeah. And I pretty much like sometimes I'll have like an idea, like I'll be like, you know what, like I want to go to like the wall in that grass area behind my apartment. So I'm like, I want to go there. I want to do some like just striking the ball, some first touch stuff, and I'll get out there. And then I kind of also like I kind of like almost on the fly kind of change it up. Like I'll see it's like if I'm in the parking lot and I see the log, like I have a plan that I want to do wall or log passing on the ground like first time, but I'm seeing that the log I'm using is popping the ball up, and I'll change it around. So it kind of like is like I'll go and do the session, be like, okay, I want to work on first touch, some dribbling drills, or I want this to be more fitness based. I want to do more like crossing and striking the ball. So I'll have like an idea, and then I'll go there, and then based off of like how I'm feeling or what I want to do, or just like a gut thing, or like what the log is bouncing or how the wall is bouncing or whatever, then I'll kind of change up the drill a little bit. But I pretty much, I create all my own stuff. And then my own bodyweight workouts I've been doing, but we also, the team is creating is making us do the speed test twice a week, and they're making us do the 2 workouts a week with the body weight. So they are basically creating those.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because I at least for us at UCI, they have kind of like sessions made and put into a drive for us to kind of like go off of and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if do you guys have anything like that with Tulsa or?
No, they're pretty much just like, just get touches on the ball. Like you guys are pros, like you know what to do, like do something like that. Which I kind of like. I think it'd be good either way, honestly. Because if they gave me something, I'd probably like look at it and probably tweak it a little bit. So, but because you never know. Like sometimes it'll be like, I want you to do these wall passes, but then your wall is like not what you want it to be. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll switch to wall juggling then.
Yeah. So, aside from like the game footage that you guys analyze as a team, have you been like since like there's no sports going on or anything, like we can't watch games or anything like that? Are you looking at your old footages or are you looking at like old games and stuff? Like,
we watched so the first week for the first 2 weeks we were analyzing our first game against Sacramento Republic, and so we went super deep into like that game analysis. Probably spent like 8 hours analyzing that game. And then we watched some other pro teams that like in different leagues around the world. Like we watched like Benfica, and we watched like Leicester City and stuff like that. Just like where we want to take like similar defensive principles or offensive principles from them, how they're doing it, kind of analyze their games. And then we're also going to go into like some other USL teams like in the same league, and we're going to watch their first games, break them down, do like different like analysis on that. So like there's so many games, you can go on YouTube like full games. So yeah, I mean we'll never have like content to like stop not being able to game or analyze those games. So there's tons. What about you? Are you doing a lot of like game analysis?
I've been wanting to do it with like the team and stuff. Like I've kind of mentioned it a little bit to the coach. But it seems though like it's just because obviously we have school as well, so it's just adding more to our plate a little bit. So it's just kind of like trying to see how it would work. But in terms of myself, I've been trying to watch some game footage and stuff, but not my own because I don't have any. In terms of like just like this week I was watching Wayne Rooney and just analyzing his game and then trying to like just see what I can get out of his game to apply to mine.
What pro do you think would you like? Do you have one pro out there that you like to watch and analyze the most, and like think that you're similar, like how you play?
Well, not until recently. I kind of feel like my game style fits or is most similar to Wayne Rooney's. I believe.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Some people may disagree, but
I think you're better than Wayne Rooney though.
Yeah. I would say Wayne Rooney, but I mean before just because I'm a big Cristiano Ronaldo fan, I would watch Cristiano Ronaldo, even though like I don't play like him at all. But yeah, to answer your question, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure.
All right, yeah, that's a compliment. Thank you. What about you? Who do you see yourself?
Yeah, I think Kyle Walker. Kyle
Oh,
Walker a lot. Yeah, but
Every
then
time you say that, I think you're talking about um, what's his name? The Fast and Furious guy who died.
Paul Walker.
Every
Paul
time I hear
Walker.
you say that, I remember Paul Walker.
No, I analyze no.
Why are you
Kyle Walker.
analyzing
Kyle Walker.
Walker?
I like to watch. I like to watch Dani Alves a lot. And then it's always funny because it's like I think it's important to have that, to like find where you have a player that's like plays similar to you
Yeah.
and watch, because like people will comment like you should watch like Marcelo play like hit left back, and I'm like, okay, like yeah, like, okay, I can watch Messi too and
Yeah.
take from him, but like I think it's very important to find a player that has very similar attributes, like same body shape, same style of play, same good like strengths and same weaknesses, and then model your game after them. And I think you can always watch a player that's completely different than you and pick up tips and tricks and how they
Yeah.
play and apply to your game. But I think that it's kind of not, I think it's wrong to play outside of your game. And like, if you're, 5'4", you shouldn't be watching like Van Dijk play,
Yeah. Yeah.
you need to tailor it. You should tailor it to how like someone who's very similar to you.
Yeah. I agree. So again, going back to this quarantine mess, I'm curious to think, do you think this is like a setback, or do you think it's like a time for you to like be able to develop, like in terms of your game? Do you think yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think?
no, I don't think it's a setback, because I mean, like the only way it would be a setback is just I'm not getting games. But I've had like, once you're injured for a long time, you know what a real setback is, and like you can't even play. So it's like this time I can still get touches, I can still stay fit, I can still develop my game. And even when you're injured, you can still do a lot of things that will help your game, like what you said, like be a sponge and listen to coaches, game analysis, just doing the extra rehab exercises and understanding your body and why you got injured in the first place. So even that, like with an injury, you could say is like, could be viewed as not much of a setback, So for this time when I'm healthy, like I don't view it like it could be way, way worse, So I'm fine. Like like, yeah, I keep telling myself it could be way worse.
Yeah, yeah, same. Like I kind of view it as more time for me to like recover and sharpen my touches and stuff like that. Just sharpen up the basics that are pretty rusty right now. You know, but yeah, it's kind of it's weird to think about that. Some is like just different people's perspectives or situations where they're like either it was like their senior year of or going into the senior year of high school and they may not have a season and stuff, or even like club season's not apparently like at the is like on in talks of not even being on next year and stuff like that. So it's just like it's a weird situation. Like it can definitely be a setback for like some people in like situations where they want to like or where it's like an important year for them to either be recruited or seen and stuff like that.
But
So
even that, it's like actually had I've had a lot of seniors reach out to me and talk about how like their recruiting process is like ruined or whatever is ruined. And I always tell them like it's like a setback or something like that is like when it's only happening to you, like you,
I see that.
let's say like just your season was canceled because you weren't eligible to play because of your grades. Like that is only happening to you, but it's happening to like everybody. Every senior or every junior who wants to be recruited this year is going to be set back in the same way. And the same way as colleges that were expecting to do all the recruiting and scouting this year are set back in the same way. Coaches are freaking out because they're not filling up their roster right now. So everybody is being taken down. It's not like anybody's being left behind right now. And the same what you said is like you can do other stuff to put yourself even ahead of everybody not working. So yeah, I think it's only bad if it's only happening to you. If like if you had a sickness and you were quarantined for 6 months or something, but it's the whole world.
How do you think this like this whole situation will affect soccer, like in terms of like how do you like no fans in the stadiums and stuff like that? Like what do you think was going to happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's super interesting. I think that there will be some like lasting effects for a while. Like I think that hopefully soonish, within a month to 2 months to 3 months or sometime in the summer, hopefully we'll be back to like full training with the team. And there's going to be still some like social distancing stuff, and then hopefully by the end of the summer, we can start playing full games. But I just don't know if there's going to be able to have packed stadiums for a while. Like maybe if you never know, because the virus could just, stop infecting people and whatever. and like I'm not a scientist and I don't know, but like
You're
like
not-
yeah, no. Dropped out of college. But I think that it will have for sure. This year is going to be a weird year, and then in 2021, hopefully the vaccine or something's going to come out, or hopefully that this will die down enough where we can go back to as normal as possible. But I think there's going to be some form of social distancing for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like even like because yeah, I agree with that. Like I think it's for sure the transition back into playing like how it was before. It's gonna be really weird. I don't think it's not gonna be as it was before. I think there's always gonna be extra precautions for certain things or whatever. But even like back to like society, society going back to normal. Like I feel like that's just gonna be like I feel like masks are just gonna be a norm now. What do you think?
Have you noticed like if you're standing somewhere and someone coughs, like you like freak out a little bit? Or like if you're in like a supermarket and you're trying to pass somebody, you go as much to the side as possible to pass. Like I bet that would be like ingrained in our system for a while, for at least a year.
It's so weird. I feel like everyone's scared of me now when I go out. It's like damn. And like I realized like in just like the like here in California where it's just like everyone's required to wear masks now to go in stores and everything. I don't know if it's the same over there. Is it?
Oh, we're not required, but pretty much everybody does.
Yeah, it's like you can't walk into the store if you have a mask on. So it's just weird now. Like even people walking down the street are wearing masks, and like it's weird now that like the norm is mask, and like you're like that's weird if you're not wearing your mask. So it's just kind of
when like 6 months ago, if someone walked into a supermarket with a mask, they're like, "What's wrong with this guy?"
exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's crazy. The situation right now is crazy, and the transition is gonna be weird.
Yeah. How at least you're home. Like you're home, right? You can see your
Yeah.
parents and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm with my entire family, with my girlfriend and stuff. So I'm in a good situation. I'm not like complaining about my situation at all.
Yeah.
Still able to like train, not full on train like we used to be able to, but still do enough to like get back or stay in shape and everything.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing fitness at all? Like, how's your fitness right now?
I've been wanting to do the beep test so that, and I'm gonna beat your score so that
if you beat my score, I'll take you out to a steak dinner.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you get? A 14 point?
My best is 14.5.
14.5.
Yeah, but I want to see you measured out 20 meters.
Okay, I'll film everything.
Yeah, because I don't want it to be 20 yards, and then I'll just be like, yeah, I got 14.6.
All right. Well, yeah. So I've been wanting to do the beep test. I haven't done it. Hopefully, I'll do it next week, and I'll film it and everything. I'll send it. I'll text it to you so you can see it. Yeah. So, but when I go and train and stuff, and like, I find myself, if more than anything, I find myself cramping up more than getting like tired. Well, at least that's my muscles getting tired, I guess, when they cramp up. But it's just like I find myself like I went for like a 4 mile run, and my shins, I was like it felt like shin splints. And because I haven't ran like long distance in a while, so I started feeling myself getting a little bit of shin splints, and then just quads like aren't as like what's there. Yeah, I just need to do more endurance in my quads and stuff like that because I've been like, fatiguing in terms of that. But like I can like go through a full session. I feel like if I was to jump into a full session with UCI right now, I think I could last the entire time. So
yeah, that's like the same thing. When I came back so I was out like off and on for I think it was like 10 months. Like I was like doing some training, but then I had to get the second surgery. So it was like pretty much 10 months without like full strength competitive play. And when I came back, it was like the same thing. Like it was just my muscles felt so weird. It felt awkward out there. Like things were cramping up. I was getting pains in muscle, like weird strains or pulls or something, like just for a few days. And then I was getting like my patellar tendonitis started to come back. And then I sprained my ankle, like both ankles a few times, just because nothing was as strong. Just 10 months sitting on the side, everything's going to weaken. No matter, like you can do as much as you can to not let it weaken as much, but it's going to weaken, Yeah. It's tough coming back. But it's just, and I was so frustrated. I didn't know, like there was times where I was like, am I ever going to be able to play like just normal without overthinking anything? And it took a while. It took like 3 or 4 months of like playing like full trainings, games and everything before I was like, okay, yeah, I feel back to normal.
Yeah. So like I've actually like I've this quarantine or this virus in a way helped me out in terms of like like I said before, giving me more time to prepare and just recover, fully recover, and train by myself. Because if I were to be jumped into like the full on like training session right now, I feel like I would beat myself up more because I'm not at the like I don't think I would be at the level as like everyone else right now. So
Yeah.
like get in my head even more like, oh my God, I need to be at this, I need to be like them right now, like all this stuff. But I think right now it's giving me a good amount of time for me to just like focus on my own and like individual work and stuff like that.
Mm, that's good. How was I want to know too? How was I know you haven't like because you haven't done any full trainings with your team, right?
No.
Yeah. So, but you've watched. But how was like the difference between because you're at Orange County? How's the difference between that and those trainings versus college trainings?
Um, I would say at UCI, at least, yeah, the way the coaching staff runs it there, it just feels a lot more organized. In
Really?
the session, yeah, like we have like before the session, the drills are already drawn out. We're told exactly what each drill works on, how each drill is going to work, and how long we're doing each drill, and and then they have it all set up on a board as soon as we walk in, so we know like into our locker room, so we know exactly what to expect when we go onto the field, like how long our warm up's going to be, what's going to be in the warm up. Well, no, just like how long the warm up's going to be, and then how we're gonna like each drill after that, how we're gonna progress throughout the training session, and then how much time we have after the training session to get back into the locker room to now get ready and go do fitness, or like, go
Yeah.
do like, strength and conditioning. So yeah, so it's like organized in that sense. But at OCSC, it was just kind of like get your boots on, like and then by this time, be on the field, and then the coach just um like goes through the session and through drills.
I'm gonna tell Braden you don't like his sessions.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just but it's probably more necessary in the college level, because the kids like freshmen were 18, some even 17 at the time. We're 18, 19 going into it, and we're like a lot of them are just like you know we're young and we like to mess around and goof off or whatever. And so maybe it's in the college level, it is more necessary for the coach to be a little more like precise and just more on our asses, but at the professional levels, like everyone's adults, these are grown men, they know how to listen and everything, and the majority of them have been there before, have gone through these sessions before, so they know like what to expect when they go to this training session.
Yeah.
That was my experience. That was the first time I've ever been in a professional setting. So,
Good answer. Good answer.
yeah, save my ass a little bit. no, but that's on it. Like that's
Yeah,
on.
no, I understand. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, how is like what do you? I mean, you probably explained it in your videos before, but how do you see like in terms of like the locker room and how sessions are set up? Like, what like difference do you see from like when you're at Davis to Sacramento to in Germany, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it like varies the most like from coach to coach almost,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like I've played in like two different USL teams that are like vastly different with like how the trainings are run, the locker room is, and everything. But like for the most part, I'd say like my college it was very like the sessions were organized. I really liked the sessions, but it was so much of physical, like we're gonna tire you out, like let's like my coach was very into like I want to see you work hard, I want to see you give 100% effort, and it wasn't about as much focused around the quality of like your touch, the quality of your first, like how fast the speed of play was. It was more about, am I seeing you guys work hard, So that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like the big difference was with Davis and like the pro level. And I think it was like it's different because in the college level, like you could have like unlimited subs, like you can just sub on the fly like so quick. So it was very like high effort. Let's put the energy out. Let's pin them back. Let's send the ball. Let's do a fast paced athletic style of play. So like it made sense. The sessions were like that. And then the college level, like especially in Germany, it was so just all about like mechanical, like 1-2 touches, no athleticism. We're all just going to play 1-2 touches, ding, 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 like passing formations and stuff. So it's kind of like the stereotypes are always a little bit true, like
yeah.
So it's interesting, but I've definitely found that to be true in a sense. But having said that, it's not saying that like the college soccer doesn't have any technical or quality players, you know, like.
I mean, you're talking about UC Davis. Here at UCI, we run things differently.
Oh, how did UCI do this year compared to Davis?
Okay, never mind. Go on. Nah, we had a good year. Just we had some flukes in certain games, but whatever.
Hit me up when you guys do better than Davis.
Next season, if there's a season.
I think there will be. I think that
I'm being hopeful, and yeah, like I'm trying to stay positive and say there is going to be one. But when I posted my TikTok about my career breakdown so far, at the end I said like, and now I'm just preparing for the 2020 season. And then people were commenting like, what 2020 season? There's not going to be a 2020 season. I'm like, oh my God, come on guys. I'm excited. Come on.
I have a love-hate relationship with being able to see the comments of everybody.
Yeah, the fame is getting to me a little bit, to be honest.
No, it is funny though, because it's like, I don't know what it is, but like when people just, it's not even that bad. Like I have like probably like in terms of a following, like the most supportive, like positive following I've ever seen on YouTube, you know, like it's pretty crazy. But there's always just like, you can start reading stuff and it gets to you for something, you know, like you'll be like, oh, what 2020 season? You're like, no man, there is going to be a 2020.
Yeah.
You're that guy. Like it's
crazy how just like one comment can overpower all the other nice comments. It's just like one bad comment can overpower all the other nice comments.
One bad comment from an 11-year-old and
yeah. I have noticed that you do have like a very supportive like group of like followers and stuff. I don't know if you call them fans, but are fans, which is surprising because you suck at soccer. But like, no, like I'm actually curious about that. Like when going into like filming you play soccer and stuff, or even like when you go and analyze your games, is there a bit of hesitation in terms of like, oh shit, like maybe like I don't know, like are you afraid to not perform well in every video, or when you're displaying your training sessions, are you afraid like you need to like are you afraid that you're not, like when you're training in your mind, are you thinking of the video already kind of thing? Like
I think like I used to be like really like almost sometimes my training sessions they'd either be one or two ways. Like I'd either just filming it would make it like in some sense kind of tough, because I was just kind of focused like, okay, is it going to be good enough? Like, is it going to look good on video? Like all this stuff. And then I kind of realized like, it was pretty quick. I'd say even when I was still in Germany, after a few times doing it, where I was like, look, the best videos I get are when I'm just super into my training session. So I would just pretty much just treat it like the camera's not even there, and just kind of try to do that and just have a good training session, treat it like the camera's not even there. But like still sometimes, especially like if I want to get something like, I'm just can't hit a shot or my touch is off. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, people are going to think I suck, and you just are having a bad day. But again, like I just keep on telling myself, like, just try to be as real as possible and just to show exactly what's going on. If you have a bad training session, put it up there, talk about how it was bad, and then have a good one the next video. And as long as, I think people can read through like BS really quick on videos. And instantly when you're watching somebody's video, you can tell like within the first few minutes watching their training session, if they're a decent player, if they're bad, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and if they know what they're talking about or if they don't. So I just tell myself, like, just try to be normal, try to be real, and everything will work out. And sometimes, and for the most part, it has. Like but I would say that when I do like am talking and doing some game analysis, or I definitely focus very carefully on how I word things, because one word, if you change it with another word, can like completely change the tone of it and make you sound cocky or make you sound like you don't have confidence. Or it's like I'm very careful selecting the right word and making it and getting my point across so that I'm not like offending or coming off the wrong way.
Yeah, I get that. Well, yeah, you definitely do a good job with your editing skills to hide the BS.
Cut out all the bad stuff.
All right, Matt. Well, I don't want to take up more of your time, man. I mean, it was good talking to you. I haven't seen you in a long time. Unfortunate that when you came down the last time to train at OC in Orange County, I was injured. But do you plan on coming back? This year, later this year, or?
I know Mimi and I have talked about for off season. I think we're going to be in Portland for majority of off season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I definitely will be down in San Diego to visit Mimi's family.
We'll be in both.
So we'll go back and forth. And when I'm back in San Diego, I for sure want to come up and train in Orange County at Great Park and stuff.
Did he see that I picked this question on accident?
Yeah. Your question for the Q&A for the podcast?
Oh, I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. You picked it.
Okay. So how have you been doing right now during quarantine to fix your weakness? That it's difficult because you don't have you can't play quick in terms of having a tiki taka kind of thing, and you're really bad at that. So I was.
I go out there and I help him.
No, it is true. If
if you say she goes out there and helps you.
Yeah, she defends me.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, it is. You have to kind of look at it and be realistic. If your weakness is 1v1 defending and you don't want to go out and defend anybody because of the virus, you can't work on 1v1 defending, you know? People have always asked me that. I get emails probably once a week. Hey, I'm by myself. I don't have anybody to train with, but how can I work on 1v1 defending? You can't. What do you mean? you can't. You can work on other stuff, your reaction, your change of direction, your agility or whatever, but you have to be have some common sense and be realistic with your training. And if I want to work on tiki-taka, creativity, in small sessions, it's just not really realistic right now. So I can work on other stuff like first touch, tight space dribbling, tight space drills, keep my fitness up during this time. But it's the same thing. If I want to play 11v11 game, you just can't right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think it's be realistic with your training.
Yeah, for sure. Well, no. So yeah, I did watch the podcast. I've been watching a lot of your podcasts. Yeah, it's entertaining.
Like them?
Huh?
So you like them?
Yeah, yeah. They're good. They're good. I think Mimi's a good attribute to the podcast.
Yeah, she's decent.
Decent.
Okay, well, I'll leave you off with one final question. We spoke about it a little bit about the motivation stuff. But if you could give advice to somebody right now in quarantine who's dealing with that lack of motivation, who just can't can't find the motivation to go out and train or work out at home, what could you tell them?
I think the biggest thing is to focus on your biggest goal. What's your biggest ambition, you know? If your biggest ambition is to really not be a pro soccer player and you want to be a doctor, then I can understand why you don't have motivation. But if you are a kid or somebody, or you want to play the D1 level, you want to play pro, and that's your ambition, that's your goal in life, is you want to have a good pro career, then how, I always keep on saying, I understand you can have bad days and good days, but how do you not have motivation, in the bigger scheme of week after week, to not go out and train and to not go out and work out? That's people do that for free. And you want to make this your job, you want to do this full time, and you want to do what only 0.01% of people can do, but you're not even willing to just go out and do a couple push-ups, a couple squats, a couple juggles in your backyard. So it doesn't I completely understand it, and I'd be lying to say if there's days where I don't have motivation. But if you look week after week, I always am motivated because I have that. I just want to be the best pro soccer player I can, and life is short. And if I just take this time for granted and I'm not working out, that's just a huge slap in the face of my future self. When I'm 35 years old and I'm done playing soccer, I'm man, what if I would have worked a little bit harder? You know, what if I would have actually trained in quarantine? What if I would have actually taken care of my body or eaten the right things? Could I have made it to the MLS? Could I have been a better player than I was? So that's how I think is the biggest motivation for me.
Okay, cool. I'll take that into consideration as well.
Yeah.
I wanted that question for myself.
Good. It makes sense, right? Because you want to be a pro, so it's
yeah, of course. No, yeah. I completely agree. And like I said before, I'm just talking to myself constantly and reminding myself why, why I need to go and train, why and stuff. Just holding yourself accountable. So I talk to myself a lot.
I think discipline is big too. Sometimes how you said of just getting out of bed, just doing the thing. Sometimes okay, look, I have this minimum of touching the ball 4 times a week. You know, that is I need to do that. Or it's
yes.
I don't, I've failed myself. And I put that as, it's almost there's no option to not do that, you know? Like I make it like I need to do this no matter what. Like it's a bare minimum. So I can't even know. It's like a barrier in my head. Like I need to touch the ball 4 times a week. And then like just getting out there, you'll realize once you get going and training, you'll start to get into it, you know, and you get a good session. Even if like an hour before you weren't really looking forward to going outside and putting in work, but you're out there and all of a sudden it's fun and you want to stay out there for longer.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you touch the ball, your mindset just completely switches. Like you just want to stay out there more longer. Yeah, for sure.
99% of the time. And then you have that one training session where the whole thing's just shit. And you're like, oh, man.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more of your TikToks. Hopefully you start dancing soon. But no, yeah. And then I'm watching all your videos, you know, listening to all your podcasts. So don't fail me and continue uploading. Yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
No problem at all.
My brother and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm stoked to be the first one. I'm the first one, right?
Yeah.
Good.
First one to be uploaded, but I've done like 5 before. No, I'm joking. Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Where are you gonna upload this?
We're gonna upload it on Athletic Ascent. So it's my brothers and I, both our pages on Instagram. And then I'm thinking of just doing, because it's a long video, I'm thinking of just doing clips of it. Mm-hmm. And then putting the full thing on YouTube. And then I might put clips on my own personal as well. You know.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Give you a little more exposure.
Yeah. Good.
Not like you need it. You're good. All right, Matt. Thank you.
No problem, bro.
See you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, great to talk to you.
You too. Bye, Mimi.
Bye.
Later.
All right, bro. See ya.
Later.